What's good, YouTube? I'm here, you're here. Let's get into it. So today I found an article where we have a professor in the University of McGill out here in Canada. He's been running into some issues trying to get funding, and you won't believe the reason why. It has a lot to do with his beliefs on how you hire people and how you come to conclusions and make the appropriate decisions. So without me muddling up this man's thoughts, I'm gonna play for you a little bit of what he believes in, and then we'll get into it a little bit further.
Leading up to all of this, but you have had a scenario where you have twice now been rejected by grants. The first time it happened, you didn't want to speak out about it. Now it's happened a second time. You've decided you needed to go public. Tell us about these grants that you've been applying for.
Let's see, about a year ago, I applied for a federal grant called the National Frontiers Research Fund, and that was a new grant application. And what they had done as a new grant application is make equity, diversity, and inclusion, EDI, their primary mission statement and science a secondary mission statement, so that if you did not fulfill their EDI mission statement requirements, they would not send your proposal to scientific review. So that's what happened to me about a year ago. And that was the first time that ever happened to me in my life. That was the first time I've ever had a proposal vetted based upon EDI as opposed to science.
So the primary prism, you're saying, this was basically the driving thing. You're saying this comes before whatever it is the actual research project is?
Precisely.
So did you catch that? It doesn't matter about what you know. It matters basically on how what you know is going to make somebody else feel. I'm not sure how you're supposed to tippy toe around science where it's based on facts and actualities. It's not based on your emotions. So this man is pretty much handcuffed right now when he's trying to do his job and support Canada becoming a leader in the scientific world of lasers. It's a little ridiculous.
So in a proposal, you might write 5, 10, 15, 50 pages on the science, and there's an ancillary amount that you might write about all the benefits to society and industry. That might be a page, but more recently they've added, you might add a paragraph or a page or however long you want to describe how you're going to make the world a more equitable, inclusive, and diverse place in science. And if you don't do that, we won't even look at your science. So that happened a year ago, and it happened a month ago in a second proposal that was sent to NSERC, Natural Sciences and Engineering Research Council of Canada. So that proposal was also rejected on EDI grounds. Apparently, I can reapply if I rewrite my EDI section, but
See, now that's disrespect. They look at his science and they see that it's sound, but because he didn't bend the knee to the emotional side that they want him to add to his science, they said, nah, fam, you're not going to get no loot unless you rewrite your work, which isn't even the work. It's just the emotional side. And science doesn't have an emotional side, or at least it shouldn't. It doesn't make any sense.
the key point is I was judged and vetted only on EDI and not based upon science. That had never happened to me in 15 years of my being a professional scientist in Canada. And to the best of my knowledge, it has never happened in the Western Anglophone society in 100 years of public funding of science.
So referring to these 10, 15 years you've been doing this work, I assume that you have been applying.
100 years, people. Take that into consideration. A century, 100 years. They have not discriminated based on anything remotely this nature. And now, that's wherever you look, that's all you see. Like literally, wherever you go, you have somebody saying, boom, we have issues with, look at this. It's about basketball. What does any of this have to do with basketball? NFL, diversity and inclusion, same thing. It's all over the place. It makes no sense. The funny thing about the NBA and the NFL, the fact that these guys are what the court is in most cases 99% black or a mix of that. There's no diversity on the court, but everything surrounding it, the coach has to be black. They're trying to blackify the whole thing. They're trying to brownify everything. Why can't we have more white guys in the NBA? Why aren't we petitioning for that to happen? Why is it that in the NFL the predominant guys coming out of college all look the same? And I'm not talking about Tom Brady, you know what I'm saying? So where's the diversity there? Nobody is complaining about the lack thereof when it comes to these types of things. But I'm gonna let this man go on for another couple seconds and finish this up real quick.
For grants over the past 10 years, and you have successfully gotten them for similar projects.
Precisely. So I've been here since 2003, so a little over 15 years. I have raised about $7 million in that time period. Some proposals are funded, some proposals are not funded, but you keep on writing away, and I've been quite successful. I've been successful most recently with an internationally competitive corporate proposal. And in that one, the corporate proposal, there was no asking for easy eye. They simply wanted to know what your science was and how your science would offer a value proposition to the company that was funding us. I was funded.
There you go. We don't care what color you are, what sex you are, whether you identify as a toaster or a blossom of flowers. Nobody in the corporate world, nobody gives a damn. At the end of the day, my investors want to know if your technology is going to make them bank. That's all they want to know. They don't want to know anything else. They don't want to see anything else. Just show me the money, okay? Show me the money. That's all they want. But when you come down to these governments and schools where it's clear that on a global scale, they're going to be trying to shift everything, ain't nobody trying to do that. They want you to write an essay about how you feel. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm the only person at McGill, the third person in Canada that was funded by this program by Sony Corporation of Japan. And that's very
Fire.
nice because they only asked for a scientific.
Fire. So the Japanese reached out and said, we looked at your work, fam. Can you send it? He sends it, and obviously he's making some real good coin right now. It's ridiculous. He has to go outside of Canada, outside of North America, to get the support and funding that he deserves. Because he believes in meritocracy, the Canadian government is going to screw him. His school isn't even standing up for him. As we see everywhere else in the world, we have people complaining about why is it important to have more women in leadership roles, and they go on to give us like all these weird percentages. 67% of women reported they had learned the most important lessons about leadership from other women. What? Okay. How come these women, when it comes to equity and diversity, we don't have equity and diversity in fields like picking up garbage, sewer maintenance? I don't see chicks like her busting their knuckles at the construction site. I don't see any of these people trying to, do the dirty work, trying to do the jobs nobody wants. Like, where I live is a very rural area, and I see mans in the fields. I don't see these ladies in the fields. I see bare mans out there, night and day. At the end of the day, we need to stop with this whole how does it make you feel, and let's just stick to, are you the right person for the job? Let's go.